Hi there, welcome to Pagan Crafting. I'm your host, Kara. Today we're going to learn how to enchant your own petition paper and how to use it in spell work. We're going to use some herbs, some resin, some amazing dye that's going to blow your mind what we can infuse into the paper to help enchant your magical workings. Join me today as we dye to make something cool. So today is going to be very easy. I'm going to start off with some cardstock paper. You could use normal printer paper, but I find the cardstock is just a little cool and sturdier for doing certain projects, even if I use it in my crafts. But this paper we're making today is going to be magically infused. So let's start off with a tray that is wide enough and big enough to fit the size of paper of your choice. Let's grab some hot water here. We're going to start off with, this is a coffee bean. Now this coffee bean is, I'm going to tell you a little hint and secret. Instead of just using a ground up bean, use the instant coffee. I'm taking my time here in the beginning and I'm just slowly throwing down my intention into the water, into my paper recipe. Coffee bean is ruled by Mars and the fire of Aries and the masculine. It boosts energy, improves communication. The coffee is a stimulant that can be used to give spells and potions and an amulet boost to speed things up. It's an excellent to break curses or clear blockages, but it can be used for offerings and deities, spirits, ancestors, and dispels nightmares. It eliminates negative thoughts, overcome blockages, and unhealthy emotions. Coffee is really cool. I'm going to use it to improve communication and to give spells a little extra speed or little boost in this one. Now I'm going to shake in some cinnamon here, ruled by the sun and the element fire, the zodiac Aries and masculine. Cinnamon is used to raise spiritual vibrations. It aids in healing, it draws money. It stimulates psychic powers and produces protective vibration and increases your psychic ability and awareness. Now we're going to rock in some ginger, ruled by the planet Mars, the element fire, the gender masculine, and also Aries. Ginger is used to enhance, and the spell I use to enhance to ensure the success or the achievement of the magical operation taking place. Love, money, success, power, business success also is associated with ginger. Dragon's blood, ruled by the planet Mars, element fire, gender masculine, and the zodiac Aries. Notice a pattern here. It always happens to me. It's super cool. It's for protection, but it's also to increase the potency and the power of a spell. It's good for love and also exorcisms. A small amount will do. I'm using 2/4 teaspoons in this batch. Dragon's blood is strong magic, and this is the resin in liquid form. It is some stinky magic too, my friends. Whew. Everything was smelling super good until I rocked out the dragon's blood. Now we're going to grab some rose petals, ruled by the planet Venus, the element water, gender feminine, and the zodiac Libra. Used for protection, psychic powers, healing, love, psychic powers to do with luck. We're going to be adding this into my herbal grinder. My herbal grinder smells like sage. I was making some blends. Now we're going to use some clover. Cloves are used to enhance the clarity of a spell. So I like to use that with this particular batch. Now the clover is ruled by the planet Jupiter, the element fire, the gender masculine, and the zodiac Sagittarius. It's used to enhance the powers of protection, love, and money, and removes all pain in our lives, as well as opens up for love, friendship, healing, and more. Grabbing some cedar in this, ruled by the planet Sun, the element fire, gender masculine, and the zodiac Leo. Used for purification, protection, also for healing and money, banishment and negative energy, rebirth, and regeneration. Now that I got these all busted up, I try to get it down into a powder as much as I could, but those cloves want to stay strong. Oh, it smells so good. Look at that. Best I could get it into the powder, but you know what? The pages will pick up the essence as we infuse it into the paperwork. Throwing down your intention, what you would like into your magical workings. Take your time as you throw in your ingredients. Using your energy, again, initiate your intentions into your paper recipe. I'm using Reiki here. Just for giggles, we're gonna I added a little too much, only because I watched it bubble and the ADHD came out in me. I'm like, oh, let's do it again. I really only needed a half a teaspoon, but it still worked out okay. So nothing went wrong, but I really didn't need that much. I just like to watch things bubble. Yay. Give it a little stir again with your intentions. I'm using my cooking witchery spoon with a sigil on it that says, "Bless my cooking." And you can stir it clockwise to stir in something intention that comes towards you. You can stir it counterclockwise if it's going away from you. In this case, I'm just mixing it whatever happens, because I'm going to be using these papers for both ways, for receiving and letting go. Now, one of my favorite parts. Ooh. You can start dunking in the paper here. You will need to squish down the paper between each one. You don't want to put a stack of paper in. You do painfully have to do this one at a time. You want to grab your little spoon here and help you push and hold that down, because they do like to float. Don't worry about all the little bits of herbs that are in there. It's really cool as some of it sticks to the paper. It adds that element of enchantment. But there's a way that you pull out the paper that most of the paper that will come out won't be stuck with the herbs. With each paper in, you could also throw in your intention. Coming back to it every once in a while as the water has cooled down, and pressing your paper in. Now, with the cardstock, it will take longer. You're looking at about 6 hours. I cut some paper here. Some of it I just leave the paper in the mixture, and I pull out the card here and there just to see what I'm at. Now, you could also dye your paper with tea bags. I find that an Earl Grey, a black tea is really, really, really good to use. A black tea is going to be your best friend for the darkest tea bag dye. Now, this dye, I use regular paper and construction paper, and I didn't infuse it with any herbs or resin or flowers. But you can see how quickly the mixture gets. Now, at first I kept the tea bags in, realizing they were just in the way, so I wound up taking them all out. And again, the paper's going in one by one, and it was a beautiful, beautiful color that came out. I did wind up adding some instant coffee to this mixture, and it created a much darker look to it. I had regular sheets of paper for this batch, and then I went into the cardstock later. I just really prefer the cardstock petition paper. Now, I don't bake my paper. I just lay out an old black sheet on the floor when all the cats are outside, and one by one, I drip them down and I lay them out. And it takes about 4 to 6 hours depending on your humidity. I do turn on a fan and put the fan on the floor. And about 6 hours is usually I find for the cardstock on a summer's day. I did do a batch of these papers in the winter time, and I think it was about 6-7 hours. It wasn't too much difference. And if you have like, oh, there, I just pulled it out. If you have that wrinkle underneath your paper of the sheet will be a little bit warped. And I find that it's amazing how well these sheets will dry really flat this way. And I don't have to then bake them in the oven. Because after you bake them in the oven, then you have to put them into a sheet press, a book press. And I don't have one, and nor do I want to buy one. And it's just a little too epic for me, because this works out great for me. So if you can want to do this at home, you don't have any animals that are going to walk all over it. Cats like to leave their imprint. So plants, not pills. That's what my sweater says, if you're wondering there. So he doesn't worry, it just says pills on the back of there. I just kind of threw that in. And look how flat they are. There's probably, I don't know, like 30 odd sheets here, and they're quite flat. They dry very well. Only the few on the top might have had some wrinkles of some sheet underneath it. I'm very happy with the outcome. Some of them you can see a little bit of the herb, the residue left behind, and I prefer that. I was hoping to get a bit more. On the back sheets, I have some on the back where you could see more of the herbs have infused to the paper. Gives it an old world flavor, if you will. I like it. So what we're going to do next is we're going to show you how to use this paper in 2 different ways. Now what you could use to write on your petition paper is some dragon's blood resin, which is kind of badass and super cool. It gives it that little extra flair, protection, and awesomeness. You could use a red ink. Red is a power color for me. It's one of my favorites. This one I used the red ink with some dragon's blood and some herbs I infused in it, so it's kind of coagulating, which is kind of ironic. But I infuse some herbs in my ink, and then I can dip into those and write with those and create even a more magical oomph when my writing. You can simply use a red pen. Use some red ink, and again, you can look up the reasons why for different colors if you'd like. This is something I'd prefer. I'm going to use a black Sharpie here for this next demonstration, just so you could see a little bit better on the camera. Now, if something you want to come towards you, you're going to tear the paper towards you. If something that you want to be rid of, go away, be free of, you're going to tear the paper away from your body. Each time starting on the right hand side, each time turning it 1/4 turn clockwise until you do all 4 sides. Now your paper is ready. We don't want a machine, device, man cut paper. We want all nice and roughed sides. So next we're going to write the person's name and birth date 3 times across the petition paper. Now that was the target's name. Now you're going to write the goal of the target, what you'd like to happen. Simplify it, try to get it down to as less words as possible, and rock that 3 times going across the name and birth date of the person of the target you first wrote out. Turning it 1/4 turn down clockwise once again, writing your name now and your birth date 3 times across both the target of the goal and the target. Each time turning it clockwise 90 degrees. Now you're gonna rock your signature. It's like a way to activate it. It's the way to like pow, like power it up. Like so moted be. It's like a magical it's now happening. Now let's take this another step further. Throw your energy down on here. Make sure your intention is pure. And fold it towards you now if you want to receive this. Turn clockwise 90 degrees. Again, fold it again. Clockwise 90 degrees, fold it again towards you. So you fold it 3 times and turn it clockwise 3 times. With each turn, lay down your intention. Reiterate your intention. Now let's try another way. First, you're going to write down the name 3 times. Now this spell does ask if you could do it in cursive. And there's going to be a reason for that. Next is you're going to put my name, so your name, 3 times over top of the person's name that you wish to target. Again, clockwise 90 degrees. And you're going to simplify what you would like to happen. I'm just going to simplify love me. We're going to use these 2 words over and over and over again, making a circle around your target and your name. Do not let your pen leave the paper. Do not cross an I. Do not cross a T. Do not dot an I. Sorry. Keep going continuously all the way around till it connects to the very beginning. And again, we want them to love me, so we're going to have it towards. We're going to fold the paper towards clockwise, fold the paper towards clockwise 90 degrees again. And so mo to be. Simple spell on some petition paper. You can grab your candle and you can put that underneath your candle. Let the candle burn all the way down. I'm using red for love, passion, excitement. I'm an Aries. I'm even using my Aries bowl. Just realized that right now. Anyway, thanks so very much for joining me today. Blessed be, my friends, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Throw me a little like up and ring that bell so you know when the next video comes out. And have yourself an absolutely magical day.